That dope Dream Team. It's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with 10 differences between America and Australia. Once again with our guy Tristan Coon. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. You guys have a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. Tristan! Oh my god.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Tristan here, and today I'd like to share with you 10 differences between America and Australia. Real quick before we get into this video, I just wanted to say thank you so much to every single one of you who watches my videos. Before coming to Australia, I had no following really on YouTube, and yeah, I had no idea how many friends I'd make by staring into a camera and talking about Australia, but it's been such an awesome journey. I feel so incredibly lucky, and I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you who watches these videos. I make these videos because I enjoy sharing my experiences and I love documenting my adventures. And while I do make some money on YouTube, small creators like me don't make a whole lot, and sometimes it can be really hard to work full-time to fund my adventures and also do this on the side. However, I'm going to be doing this new thing where if you want to show your support or appreciation for these videos, you can do that by buying me a coffee. It's very simple. I'm going to put a link in the top line of this description. You can just click on it and you can support me by buying me a $4 cup of coffee. I don't want anyone to feel obligated to do this. There's no pressure at all. It's just an option. If you want to help support me make these videos, that is something you can do. One thing I should note, because I've said before that I don't drink coffee, and that's true. For me, mine is buy me a pizza. It's a little slice of pizza. It's really buy me, it could be buy me a beer, buy me a coffee, buy me a pizza, whatever. It's just like a little $4 donation that you're making. The website that does it, it's just called Buy Me a Coffee, so that's why it says buy me a coffee. Anyways, that's it. Sorry for the long intro. You know I like to get right into my videos, so.
Nah, and I really rock with Tristan Coon's videos, but I think he makes quality videos for sure. He makes good, he shows a lot of difference between America and Australia. And also, yeah, Australians will definitely come out and support you, I feel like. Between the comment section and getting messages on social media, through Patreon and through premium request link, right? I've gotten a lot of Aussie support, and you guys are just really absolutely awesome. And I love making videos reacting to different things about Australia, whether it be Australians doing funny stuff, doing crazy stuff, being fearless, differences between America and Australia, different stories from legends out there in Australia. I just absolutely love getting to react to the country and getting to react to the people in the country. But Tristan, I'll let you take it away.
Here we go, 10 differences between America and Australia. Let's get it. Number one, we got these flags on the beach. So, if you're an Australian, these are probably very standard to you. But if you're not from Australia, you have no idea what these flags mean. Those flags are,
I know what they mean, Tristan, because I've seen other videos, right? But swim in between those flags. You go outside in them flags, I don't know what's gonna happen to you, but your life is at risk at this point. You're taking it into stay in between these flags. You're safe. You're good. No sweat. Go outside of these flags. I guess enter at your own risk.
Two of them up, and that is where you're supposed to swim when you're on the beach here. So if you see those flags, it's safe to swim in between them, but if you don't see those flags, don't get in the water, because there's probably a rip current or something that's going to take you out to sea. It's dangerous to swim there, so don't swim when there's no flags. Number two is points on license. So here in Australia, there is a point system where if you get a ticket, that ticket might be worth 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And then once you get enough points, you lose your license. In America, we don't have this point system, so if you, let's say, got 10, 20 speeding tickets in a year, yeah, you'd have a whole lot of fines to pay, but yeah, I don't think you lose your license at any point. Number three, is it
how much points, I'm intrigued, how much points do you have to get before you do lose your license? And the second question is, do the points restart each year? You have to or is it just a certain time period, or do they stay on there forever? I'm intrigued about that. Like you said, in America, we don't have that. I feel like I've gotten 5, maybe 6 speeding tickets, and the fines suck. Paying those fines suck. And you're probably well, if you gotta continue to pay fines, why do you keep speeding? Because I have lead foot. It's something that I was born with, I guess, and I can't go slow. I cannot go the speed limit if there's room to go faster. It's frustrating for me, so I have to go fast. But yeah. We don't get the points. We don't get points on our license. They're probably making too much money. They probably like making too much money off of us to give us points. They're like, we can keep firing them every time we catch them. So let them keep the license.
Common to drop out of school after year 10 here. So in America, if you drop out of high school, you're considered like a total loser. Like it is looked down on by everyone. Like there's no good reason to drop out of high school. No one's gonna hire you. It's gonna be like pretty much impossible to get a good job. Like you're pretty much gonna have to like be like some super smart entrepreneur, like start your own business and pave your own way for success. Or you're gonna be stuck working a minimum wage job at McDonald's for the rest of your life. There's just not much good alternative to dropping out of school. However, here in Australia, it is actually fairly common to drop out after year 10 and become a tradie or pick up a trade. So if you dropped out at year 10, you would immediately get a job as an apprentice, becoming like an electrician, plumber, chippy, bricklayer, like one of those things, and you're making money like these next couple of years while your friends are still in school. On top of that, you're on your way to get certified as an electrician, plumber, carpenter, one of these things, and by the time you're like, I don't know, 19, 20, like still really young, you will be a fully certified electrician, plumber, whatever it is that you're going for. And in Australia, once you get there, you'll be making good money. School is just not for everyone, and here in Australia, they do an amazing job at letting people still have career options in life without forcing them down the school route. Like in America, we pretty much make people like beat their heads against the wall to get them through high school. Number 4,
Yeah. I feel like here, definitely, if you don't finish high school, you're considered a loser. It's going to be hard for you to find a job unless you become an entrepreneur. But I feel like I like the way Australia does it, right? If you already know what you want to do after grade 10, there's a specific trade or specific thing that you want to do in schools, and it's just not for you. Like you said, school's just not for everybody. Not everybody enjoys school. And you already know what you want to do, then I think it's awesome to have the option to like go and pursue that trade and be able to be certified by the time you're like 19 or 20. That's absolutely awesome. I feel like here, and especially in my school, they are starting to put like different trades in schools. So like you can become like a hairstylist. You can become, like you can work on cars. I'm not sure exactly everything. They have like a culinary thing inside of the school. And so they're starting to put different trades inside of the school now, but you do still have to go and take like all the regular classes and all of that. That you still have to take like English, math, all of those, science, all of those main classes. But they are starting to institute the trades in the school to where you're able to start getting certified through the school, which I think is absolutely awesome. I wish they would have had it when I was in school, but yeah, shout out to Australia for having that.
America, we pretty much make people like beat their heads against the wall to get them through high school. Number 4, you guys love to back into parking spots. So like in America, if you go to a typical parking lot, I'm gonna say like 80%, 90% of the cars are parked like the front of the car into the spot. Here in Australia, I've noticed tons of cars back in, like maybe 50% of the cars will be backed in. In addition, if you've ever seen those parking spots where you like drive on a road and then they're like, the spots are like at like a 60-degree angle, you kind of go in like that. While in Australia, you would be going down the road and then you back into the spot, and then whenever you want to leave, you just drive forwards out of it. Small difference, but just something weird I've noticed. Number 5 is how...
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just more confident going in the front way. I can back a car into a parking spot if necessary, but if I have the option, I'm just more confident going in the front way. So most of the time I'm going forward. I'm not backing it in. But I think that's cool.
They do Halloween and really holidays in general. So in the States, we do it big. We do holidays huge in the States. Whether it's Halloween, whether it's Valentine's Day, whether it's even like St. Patrick's Day, I don't know, Easter. We love to decorate our houses. If you go to a convenience store, grocery store, I don't know, like Kmart, Walmart, any of those stores, there's like at least an entire there's at least an entire section dedicated to that season. In Australia, that section will be about, I don't know, a third the size that it is in America. People, while they're spirited, they like to enjoy the holidays. Like I'm particularly talking about smaller holidays here, not like Christmas and stuff. But they just don't like to. They're not gonna go have as much decorating, do as much for the holiday, not get as much in the spirit. I just say holidays like Halloween, Valentine's Day, Easter. They're just not nearly as celebrated, nearly as big here as they are in the States. Number 6 is.
I've never been the type of person to like celebrate like holidays, like decorate my entire house and make it a certain theme and do all of that. I just could care less. I just, after I moved into like my own place, my own apartment, I could care less about any of it. I'm just not a decorator. My girlfriend, on the other hand, is complete opposite. She decorates for every season change, every holiday. She wants different themes, and We're about to move in together soon, so that might be something that we butt heads on because I don't know. I see it as a waste of money. But us coming to a compromise will probably mean that she gets her way.
Nearly as celebrated, nearly as big here as they are in the States. Number 6 is jail time and incarceration rates. So in like America, first of all, like I think a lot of people know this, we are like the #1 most incarcerated country in the world. Like we have so many people in prison, it's ridiculous. In America, the incarceration rate is like around 660 per 100,000, whereas in Australia it's around 220. So 1/3 the amount of people in prison per capita here. But what I've also noticed is the prison sentences, like the length of time you go to prison for certain things, are like way less in Australia than they are in the States. All right, number 7 is something I just
They like getting that free labor out of us. They like getting that cheap labor out of us, right? You know what I'm saying? You put them in jail, you put them to work. Oh my God. You have the cheapest labor possible. And they can't say anything because they're locked up, right? They're in prison, they're in jail. And so of course, you're going to try to lock as much people up as possible and keep them in there as long as possible. And I'm not saying that there's not people who don't do crimes who don't deserve to be in jail, right? But I'm saying there's a lot of people that are in jail for sentences that are just ridiculous for the crime that they committed, or they didn't really commit a crime, and then they're in jail and they're still in jail. It's just insanity. It's just insanity.
Recently found out, and it blew my mind, but apparently it's common in like big office buildings and like more modern, tall buildings, not like your average building, but like anyways, what it is the elevators here in Australia, you tell the elevator what floor you want to go to before you get into the elevator, and then once you're inside the elevator, there's no buttons. It just like teleports you to the floor that you selected before you got into it. So I don't know, that's kind of cool. I've never seen that in America, but yeah, I saw it for the first time here, and yeah, apparently it's a fairly common thing in like big, nice office buildings around here. Number 8 is sports. So in Australia, pretty much all the sports that are popular here aren't popular in America and vice versa. So if you think about it, top 3 sports in Australia are AFL, rugby league, and cricket. Obviously, we don't have Australian football in America. We don't really have cricket in America. I've never heard of like an American cricket league. I don't think it exists in America, at least not on a professional.
Do we even have an American cricket team, bro? I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it either.
Level. And then rugby, like, I've never met a rugby player. I don't know anything about rugby. I know it exists in America. Like, I think we might have an American team, but like, I don't know. I've never seen it on TV. Like, I don't know anything about rugby.
I didn't even know we had an American rugby team either. I've never seen him play.
I don't think we have it in America. If we do, it's super small. Meanwhile, in America, our big sports are American football, obviously not in Australia, baseball, not really in Australia, basketball, which they do have basketball in Australia, but it's not nearly as big as it is in America. Like, it's huge in America. And then you got all the smaller sports, like the Olympic sports, tennis, I don't know, golf, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Obviously, yes, they have them in both countries, but they're not nearly as popular as those 3 big sports in each country. But hey, if you want to know something that's similar about America and Australia, is soccer is not huge in either of them. I mean, soccer's big in America and it's big in Australia, but I wouldn't say it's a top 3 sport in either country, which is really weird, because like around the world, like soccer's like almost the #1 sport like everywhere else. Like, it's huge. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. All right.
Is it the #1 sport in the world? It's out of that in cricket, right? If I'm not mistaken, like it's the #1 sport in the world. It's out of soccer and cricket. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like we're similar, American and Australia, in the fact that we absolutely love sports. Huge fans. Only thing that different is the sports that we love.
Number 9, this one, guys, this blows my mind. I don't understand it. So that is the homelessness in both countries. So you're probably going to think I'm going to say that there's a lot more homeless people in America, and that's what I was going to say. So I think there are a whole lot more homeless people in America than Australia. You see them all over the streets in America, like they're everywhere. We have homeless shelters that are overflowing. Like, there are homeless people on every corner in America. They're everywhere. In Australia, I see so few homeless people. Like, you go to like one of the biggest cities, like Sydney, Melbourne, and you walk around the streets, you'll see like probably not even a dozen homeless people, maybe a dozen. Like, you just don't see many homeless people. When going to look it up, I expected the homeless population in Australia to be like 1/10 per capita of what it is in America. Like, there's so few homeless people here. However, I looked it up because, I wanted to get some stats on this, and there's actually way more homeless people in Australia than America. And it made no sense to me. In America, there's just over 500,000 homeless people, while in Australia, there's a little over 100,000 homeless people, but the US is like 15 times bigger when it comes to the population. So per capita, there are only 17 homeless people in America per 10,000, while in Australia, it's closer to about 50 homeless people per 10,000. That's like 3 times as much as America, and there's no way this stat can be true. So I looked into it a little bit more, and all I can find is that it looks like the definition of homeless in Australia means not like, what was it, not sufficient, I don't know, I'll put it here, not like adequate.
Considered to be homeless in Australia if they do not have access to safe, secure, adequate housing, or if the only housing they have access to damages or is likely to damage their health, are in the circumstances which threaten or adversely affect the adequacy, safety, security, or affordability of their home. Have no security of tenure, that is, they have no legal right to continued occupation of their living area. Okay.
Adequate housing, so you can still have a house, I guess, or a place to live, but if it's not adequate, you're still homeless. So they're just much more strict on what they define a homeless person as. So I couldn't find any good numbers to actually compare, but from my experience, there's way less homeless people in Australia. Like, it's 100% a fact, even though I can't find statistics to back it up. Number 10.
Yeah, I feel like when we think of homeless, like over here, we think like legit, like no house. Like they have nowhere to go. They're either, if they don't stay at a shelter, like I think that you're under a bridge or you're in a tent somewhere. Like you have no home at all. That's what I think. When I think of homeless, that's what I think of. Yeah, I don't think of people who are just like in a bad house or people who are not in an inadequate house. I never considered them homeless. So yeah, that is a different one. But I mean, I have seen Australia's, like, I know their cost of like, and I feel like our cost of living is consistently rising too. But some of the prices I've seen from videos out there is like absolute insanity for rent. And on my rent, I feel like it's crazy, but some of the rent over there is like crazy. They're having a housing crisis and things such as that nature. And so, I mean, there could be more homeless people starting more. I'm not sure what the real statistics are and homelessness and not. And I guess if you have different opinions on what homeless actually means, then I don't know if you'll ever like actually find the real statistics to compare, if that makes sense.
And the last one, that is that checkout at hostels or hotels or like Airbnbs, whatever. Typical checkout time in America is 11 a.m. and check-in time is 3 p.m. That's just standard at like 90% of the places you go to. Obviously not all of them. While here in Australia, standard checkout is 10 a.m. and check-in is 2 p.m. So it's an hour earlier. That's my 10 more differences between America and Australia, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate y'all for watching so much. And remember, if you want to help support me some more, you can do that by buying me a coffee. I'll link it right below. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.
So dope. I definitely rock with his videos, man, and he's definitely usually spot on with them. But that's all we got. You guys got a further video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. It's your boy D Neal. Out.